Hi everybody, this is Craig Tanner for The Mindful Eye and the photo of the week on the Daily Critique. Today's image was created by Catherine, who is an advanced photographer from Colorado. Catherine just recently created this image on the Mindful Eye's Big Bend National Park workshop. Catherine shot this with a Nikon D700 at 24-70 zoom, and the effective focal length here is 70 millimeters. Catherine exposed the file at ISO 200 and at f8 for 1/6 of a second. There's so many things that I like about this image. One of the things I love about it is just the concept of light and shadow, such a powerful part of the idea of photography. And I just love how simple this image is. You've got this beautiful side window light on the candelabra. The window light is also creating a really beautiful sort of mysterious pattern back here in the background that rhymes the vertical lines of the candles themselves. I love the way that breaks up the negative space over here in a very sort of whimsical, ethereal kind of way. And then you have something really beautiful, which is you have the shadow not only of the candelabra, but you have the shadow of the window mullions in the frame of the window itself. So it's really beautiful to see the quality of light of the window light here on one of the main subjects, and then the shadow and the shape of the window playing out on the wall, and it becoming a subject itself in the picture, overlaid now with the shadow of the subject that it's lighting. To me, that's very powerful conceptually. The other thing that's so powerful for me about this image from a conceptual standpoint, if you're into storytelling, and this is one of the big takeaways from the video today, is just the idea of juxtaposition or contrast, such a powerful part of photography. But if we start to think more conceptually with the idea of contrast, not just light and dark, but if we start to think about other ideas that are more conceptual. And when I look at this image, it was shot in a church. That starts to make me think about different levels of reality, sort of a conscious physical reality, then subconscious reality, and then maybe the idea of a superconscious reality if we think sort of about the mystical realm. And to me, this photograph really speaks to that. The shadow of the candelabra is bigger, and because of the angle of the light, it's interesting. The candles in reality seem very askew, but the way the candles have been arranged seemingly on the individual candle holders on the shadow of the candelabra, they're almost straight up and down. And from a storytelling standpoint, I think that's really powerful. I mean, one of the things or ideas in mysticism is that reality is actually a reflection of a realm that is more perfect and that has a lot more potential than reality itself. I'm not trying to push any sort of belief system here. I'm just saying as a storyteller that these are archetypes that are very powerful, and for me anyway, as the viewer, that shows up here in a very powerful way. The other thing that I love about the image, just from a design standpoint, is this is a great example of, instead of formal symmetry, of a more asymmetric symmetry or dynamic symmetry. And what I mean by that is that to me, the white, sorry about that, let me make that go away. Here we go. The white coming out of this stark black negative space is very, very high contrast, so it has a lot of visual weight. And I love how that contrast for me is balancing a bigger shape of the candelabra in shadow form and all of the warmth and the real high contrast of the window. So I just love, in a rectangular frame, sort of kind of a rule of thirds idea, where this part to me is balancing this part, instead of having this 50-50 in the possibility of it becoming static. And the other thing that I really enjoy about this image is that lots and lots of images were taken in this setting. And overall, the setting of this little church is just absolutely stunning. But I really like how Catherine has moved in here with a short telephoto lens, gotten close to one subject, and then played the subject of the shadow in a very simple way. And I think another takeaway from today's video is working a scene from far away to close, or from close and then backing up, and working on getting closer in your pictures and trying to say more with less. To me, this is a picture that speaks about so many different things, but there's really, when it comes down to it, not a lot of information here. And that starts with a really beautiful quality of light, really beautiful framing, but in a lot of respects, getting closer and not telling the whole story, and leaving some things to the imagination of the viewer. Just love this image. I want to say a huge thank you to Catherine for participating in our Big Bend National Park Workshop and being willing to share this with the Mindful Eye audience. I want to say a huge thank you to all the people who participated in our workshop. One more time again today, I want to say a huge thank you to B&H for sponsoring our inspirational photography weekends in 2010. They'll be at our weekend events with a table. People at B&H know more about photography equipment than anybody on the planet, and I'm just really excited that we'll have experts from B&H on hand for our weekends to be able to answer your questions about equipment, help you with your photography equipment, which is a huge part of photography, and would love to see you at one of our weekend events or location workshop in 2010. Thanks so much for being here on the Mindful Eye. I hope you have a great weekend. Hope to see you again real soon.